viewers, you are welcome to our program. I am Kele.
DK.
Thank you very much, all right, once again for coming on board. We want to, share with us briefly what we titled Foundation of Marriage. All right. You see, this marriage of 18 started in Genesis chapter 2, verses 21 to 25. All right. Where God made the man to sleep, took a rib, made a woman, brought back to him, he accepted, came to conclusion that this is now the bone of my bone, the flesh of my flesh. Accepted fully what God has given. All right, knowing fully well, with that understanding that the woman has been brought to help him. Like the Bible said, giving him a help, meet. All right, suitable, so that they can carry on God's will, assignment, will, plans, and purpose. All right. So, we want to share briefly what I titled the foundation of marriage. So, you see, God, being the originator of marriage, has the best of intentions. All right, in setting up marriage. God does not joke with family. You see, this thing called family. God is very much interested in family. I must also tell you this. Let me shock you that the devil also is very much interested in marriage. For God's will, plans, and purpose, his program on earth be fulfilled, be carried out, family must be there. It's a must. All right? With the family intact, everything working well, God's will, plans, and purpose on earth will be fulfilled. The devil knows that when he sows that seed of bitterness, scatters marriage, disunity, all right? That once marriage is not really what it should be, that God's will, plans, and purpose has failed already. He knows this. So, you see, this marriage of 18, God has the best of intention, all right? He set it up. Marriage has a foundation. Anything that does not have a foundation can't stand. All right? So, these three things are very important for any marriage to stand. It must be built on this solid foundation. Number one, God being number one in any marriage or family. Number two, the word of God. The marriage being built based on the word of God. All the instructions, all that the Lord has said, we should do. And then number three, the couples themselves must be people who fear God. That's a solid foundation for a marriage that will stand the test of time, that will last. From time to time, marriages will face one thing or the other. One challenge or the other, one difficulty or the other. All those kind of things. It's normal, it's natural. But the truth is that if a marriage is built on these three foundations solidly, God being number one in it, being, basically the one leading, directing, and the rest. And then secondly, the marriage following all the couples following all the instructions that have been given. All right? That the manual for marriage is the Bible. We can't do without it. The word of God, the Holy Scriptures. And another one, the couple themselves having fear of God. If they don't fear God, hardly can that marriage stand. It will not stand the test of time. All right? Because storms of life will come and the rest. So if it is built on these solid things, when, all right, the enemy comes, it can't do nothing. Because it's built on solid foundation. If it's not built on these three things that I've mentioned, it will have cracks. The marriage will have a lot of cracks and also loopholes through which the devil can penetrate and run them down. There's no two ways about this. All right? So, it's very important that all these things must be there. We must understand that, this thing called marriage that God has ordained will stand only when it has a solid foundation and must be based on these three things. If not, it cannot stand. All right? If it's being done anyhow, it cannot work. It can't stand. We can all see that, all around the world today, marriage, has been organized, has taken place. The next day, nothing. And there are some already who are in it because this is not built on this solid foundation. All right, it's not really standing. By what eyes can see, men are being deceived that there's a relationship, marital relationship going on, but in the real sense of it, nothing is happening. It's because it's not built on this solid foundation, being God himself, being number one. Secondly, the word of God, being built on the word of God, the instructions that have been given, in the scriptures concerning marriage, the couples strictly following them, and then thirdly, they themselves having the fear of God in them. So, there's foundation for everything. If it's built well, then it will stand, it will last, and then be able to fulfill God's wills, plans, and purpose. All right? So the question now is, does your own marriage have this kind of foundation we are talking about? If it does not have this kind of foundation, that's the reason why, couples are facing what they are facing, and a whole lot. And the devil, who is the enemy of marriage, is happy that it's like that. All right? There's need for a marriage to have solid foundation so that it can stand, last, fulfill God's will, plans, and purpose. This, what we are saying now, will benefit those that are started because God is able to restore, but will help more those who are about to come on board. All right? To come on board. Marriage is an honorable thing. It's a joyful thing. It's something to be celebrated. It's a glorious thing, the way God has planned it. I pray God will help us. God will help us that will have a solid marriage built on these things that will fulfill God's will, plans, and purpose. That at the end will not be found wanting, will not be ashamed. Amen. I believe God for that. All right? Thank you very much. We'll just continue to follow us, our program, The Happy Family. All right? The Happy Family. Keep following our programs. Keep watching our videos. See you in our next video. Thank you very much. All right? Thank you.